Hey restaurant people, we recorded this episode at EATSCON Chicago last month with our pals from the Infatuation Chicago editorial team.
It's a fun conversation about what makes a restaurant fun. We talk about Svengoolie, obviously.
We also talk about what pizza we think Gail and Oprah should order for takeout at a sleepover.
We talk about go-to karaoke songs.
And we also talk about what is fun in Chicago.
When we recorded this episode, the Chicago editorial team was working on updating the guide to the most fun restaurants in Chicago. So they debate which places should stay and which just don't feel that fun anymore.
We didn't want anyone to miss out on the fun, so if you weren't able to attend in person, we're releasing the episode here as a bit of bonus content. Enjoy.
Hello, Chicago! Wow, look at your beautiful faces of all the people in line. Thanks so much, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian.
I'm so glad you didn't leave the stage because you're one of our guests. Yes, indeed. Surprise! Bryan, you ever been to Chicago?
I've been to Chicago. I have been to Chicago. I haven't been here in years. The last time I was here, it was 95 degrees. I saw a movie called Death Race in the theater, and then lost a train ticket to Cincinnati and had to buy a new one.
You lost your train ticket. Isn't that like on your phone?
No. It was a paper ticket. They didn't have phone tickets back then.
What year was this?
This is 2008, because I saw Death Race in the movie theater.
Okay, well, hopefully this trip is a little better.
Yeah, I'm excited. You been to Chicago before?
Never. First time.
So
far, so good. I'm loving it.
what are the plans? What are you going to do?
Well, I've already had a tamale, and that was pretty great. And I'm going on an architecture boat tour, which is embarrassing, but I'm really excited.
Amazing. That sounds pretty fun. Anyways, so I'm Bryan Kim, editorial lead at Infatuation NYC.
And I'm Hannah Albertine, senior editor at Infatuation. This is Restaurant People, a show for people who eat at restaurants sometimes.
Well, this is Restaurant People. In case you are unfamiliar with Restaurant People, I don't know why you would be. I'm sure you're all big fans. Restaurant People is our newish podcast at Infatuation, hosted by Hannah Albertine and myself. Every episode is a deep dive on a dining topic that Infatuation editors and writers are excited about. Right now, we have episodes on burgers and long lines. Upcoming episodes are going to cover topics that range from members only restaurants to shrimp cocktail.
Shrimp cocktail was an emotional roller coaster to record.
Hannah's very passionate about
I'm very
shrimp
passionate
cocktail.
about it. Is anyone else passionate about shrimp cocktail? Yeah.
We're at EATSCON, and we're ready to have a good time. Today is all about talking about the most fun restaurants in Chicago. What are the most fun restaurants in Chicago? What makes a restaurant fun in the first place?
And who better to talk about fun restaurants in Chicago than our Chicago editorial team? We have already on the stage Adrienne Kane, editorial director. She is contractually obligated to have a bob. And let's welcome to the stage John Ringor, who is our staff writer.
Come on out, John.
Hey, John. I don't know if you knew this, everybody, but John owns 14 tambourines.
That is the legal limit in the state of Illinois.
That's the legal limit.
14 tambourines.
One more, and it's a problem.
We also have Nick Allen, a senior editor at Infatuation in Chicago. Come on out, Nick. As a writer for RogerEbert.com, Nick gave the film Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2.5 stars, noting the film's savviness with its world building.
Do you remember that review that you wrote?
Sorry.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers?
Wow. Do I remember writing it?
Yeah. 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars. It's not as good as The Naked Gun by the same director, Akiva Schaffer, which I was just recommending. Has anybody seen The Naked Gun here? It's really good. We love comedy here.
Nick, I love the coconut. Your whole thing is giving Miami Private Investigator right now.
It's an off. This. Oh.
Whoa.
Hello, everybody. Sorry. This is a coconut that's available at Bloom, but it's not on the menu. So technically, it's an off-menu specialty. You heard it here first. And it's delicious.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We're excited to talk about fun restaurants. And it's also nice to be out of our windowless studio
Yes.
Oh, yes. This
Welcome
is
to
very nice.
Chicago.
Yeah, welcome. It's like this for like 2 weeks, and then it changes. So you came at the exact right time.
I know. I feel like this is perfect Chicago propaganda right now.
Exactly. Don't come in like
And the Salt
November.
Shed, too, is also like, there's no other venue like this. And to see a skyline will definitely be convincing people to move here.
Okay, so Hannah and I are actually trying to figure out where should we eat while we're in Chicago. I have zero plans. I'm here for the weekend. Just general recommendations for us.
East
Two
Coasters?
snobby East Coast elite
The
people.
snobbiest.
Where should we go?
I would send you guys to Middlebrow.
Middlebrow is
yeah.
awesome. Like, I am obsessed. I'm a fanboy. They have this really good, like, sourdough, kind of Neapolitan-style pizza, awesome patio, soft serve that you serve yourself. So you can have, as much as you want. I love Middlebrow.
Yeah, and honestly, Chicago's summer, this weekend specifically, patio, that's what you have to do.
I would say Marisco San Pedro and Pilsen for some of the best Mexican food, but also best Mexican seafood. And they have an octopus dog there that is incredible. And technically, that could be like eating a Chicago dog.
An octopus dog?
An octopus Sonoran dog. It's incredible.
Octo dog? Wow. Thank you so much for answering that question. We at the Infatuation solve dining dilemmas. Those dining dilemmas can be high stakes and low. And often what readers want to know is, where can I go to a restaurant and have so much fun while I eat? What is the most fun restaurant I can go to right now? And I want to know, John,
Yes.
our staff writer, you go out to eat 5 nights a week.
True.
And from working together, I know that you love to get sauced on beer towers, that you love kimchi fried rice, that you love karaoke.
Yeah, you do.
Sing.
You also love
Not
dessert.
sauced enough for that right now, but maybe later.
Is that you at your most fun? Like, is that scenario the most fun it gets for you? And part 2 of that question is, where do you like to do that? And part 3 of that question is, what's your karaoke song?
All right, so is that my most fun? I think I have multiple layers of fun. That's just one layer of the John Onion. But where do I do that? One of my favorite spots is this Korean place in West Ridge called Yowusai. You just walk in, immediately you got a bunch of K-pop blasting, you have a bunch of music videos. There's already like 5 tables with a beer tower and like glowing soju bottles, and you get kimchi fried rice, you get the tteokbokki, you get like the cheesy, like spicy chicken. It's awesome. It soaks it all up and you keep it going. And if you're there late, there's a karaoke spot next door. Segue into answer number 3. Karaoke song. I've been using Yeah by Usher a lot. I like to get some audience participation when I do that, depending on how many beer towers we've made it through.
What are the lyrics to that one, John?
I believe Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then how does the melody go with the lyrics?
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh,
Bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
John came to work today.
I was hoping he was going to sing it, but he didn't. Nick, I have a question for you.
Yes,
You used to be a film critic.
I did.
You hardly ever wear shoes with laces.
That's very true.
Including today.
I know.
What are those, Merrills?
I'm persistent. I
So-
love graphic design is my passion, okay?
As a former film critic
Yes.
who despises laces, what do you look for in a fun restaurant?
Nicely done. So in this time, like working at the Infatuation, becoming our food critic, eating at restaurants, like good restaurants, bad restaurants, not so fun, I realized I really like aesthetics are important to me for a fun time. So less about like, I know there's like people who like sparklers or signs or fire and stuff like that to make a fun dinner, but for me it's like, what's on the walls, who's there, what's the service like, is there a story, does this place feel like I'm in a museum of like Italian food, which there are a few in Chicago that are excellent. And it's much more about overall vibe, atmosphere.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
to be the thing with fun restaurants, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to have the best food.
Definitely don't.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of places in Chicago fit that criteria too.
Oh. Do you all have any criteria you want to talk about for fun
For
restaurants?
fun restaurant.
Yeah.
I have a few things. And yes, Fun is subjective. We all know this. Everyone's definition of fun and what makes a fun restaurant is different. But for me, I like a place where I can be loud, where my friends and I can be loud, where I don't think everyone's like listening and judging our conversations. I like people that get a little boozy. I like a little booze happening at the restaurant. For me personally, I think that's fun. I also really like a charming server. Like, service is a big part of a place being fun for me. If they seem like they're having a good time, like, that really helps the energy as well.
Okay, most charming servers in Chicago, where are they?
I think, well, there are a few. My favorite crop of servers right now is at Provare, which is this sort of Italian Creole restaurant in Westtown, and they're just great. Like, you want them to sit down at the table with you, you know? I promise.
You're in the crowd. Raise your hand if you've been to Provare.
Provare?
Okay.
Hands for Provare. Wow.
Right?
It's the best.
You know, when I'm out to eat at a fun restaurant, a quote-unquote fun restaurant, something I'm often thinking about is this restaurant fun or am I just drunk?
Yeah.
And Adrian, I know you don't drink specifically.
That's correct.
So I would love to know where you like to go out that has nothing to do with getting wasted. Maybe people are wasted around you,
right.
But for your group, where do you like to go where, like, you're not just saying, oh, it's fun because people are drunk?
Okay, well, I have a few places. And I want to be clear. I like drunk people, you know? So
She's on the record, folks.
I do enjoy, like, a mild-mannered drunk person is fine. I like to vicariously steal that pleasure, right? But I mentioned Provare. That's one of my favorite places to go because the music's good. Everyone's having a good time, whether it's because they've been drinking or not. I think that's wonderful. Another one of my favorite low-key, like, fun restaurants is Alegrias, which is this Morisco's place. And it's BYOB, so it's sort of like choose your own booze adventure. And that place, even when it's not, like, about the alcohol, it's just people are having such a good time. They're, like, it's very, very casual. It's a lot of seafood, piles of seafood, great music. They have, garage-style windows, so it's a very, very fun spot. I also really like Maple and Ash, which is kind of, like, trashy fun, but I dig it.
Maple and Ash is near the hotel where we're staying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. You reviewed it, right, Nick?
You like Maple and Ash, right?
If you like a funny dinner and you think certain strange things are funny, Maple and Ash is chef's kiss.
Funny how? Tell
As
us
in,
more.
like, the people watching is so good. There's a lot of people there. It's like Maple and Ash is like this ritzy steakhouse in the Gold Coast, which also
Nick,
has a nickname.
Tell everyone what you call Maple and Ash.
The horniest steakhouse of Chicago. Wow. And it's like, you can't debate that. So yes, thank you.
Sign me up.
I told you guys you should go. I said it.
Maybe tonight.
I've been there on a
yeah.
Friday night in a suit, just like by myself.
Big piece of meat right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, everybody's dressed up, but they're also an air of like flirty people. And this horny sommelier next to me telling me his life story and trying to take pictures. So again, like, funny if you think a little kind of trashy, creepy is funny. But it can be because it's a unpredictable, wild ride.
I'm guessing they don't have coconuts.
No, they don't. But they do at the Bloom stand.
All right.
Yeah, I was looking at Maple and Ash, and actually your whole guide to the most fun the most fun dinner spots in Chicago, right? And it seems like there are a lot of kind of upscale places on there, like steakhouses, business casual, men's warehousey spots.
In our fun dinners guide?
Yeah. Is that not right? Like, there's a
I don't
couple
know, roll
of
the
steakhouses on
tape.
there.
I don't think that's true at all.
I don't know. We're going to scroll through this thing. They're on there.
I mean, we have a few.
Well, there's a couple. There's
But we
definitely
also have
more
some
than we have in
classic
New York.
spots, too.
What's that?
We have some classic, like neighborhood staples in there as well, to balance it out.
Oh, they all look fun, every place on this guide. I'm not attacking anyone except for maybe Adrian. But I'm trying to get a handle on what is fun in Chicago, Like, what is a fun Chicago restaurant? Like, what is that personality? What's a Chicago personality? What do Chicagoans look for?
We would say
Well, I think our guide is the best example of how there's kind of this dichotomy of fun, right? You have this, let's go out, let's go after it, let's get dressed up, kind of bougier vibe. And then you have this kind of like, let's get after it in a more low-key, divey, neighborhood charming way.
Right.
Yes, Maple and Ash is on there, but we also have, like this timeless like Korean barbecue spot, Chosunok, where basically the minute you go in, you're immediately being rushed to your table, your order's being rushed, to like come out, and before you know it, the meal is done. But because it's kind of this nonstop KBBQ feast, that's like a thrill, that's a rush, and it's BYOB. So, you can choose your own booze adventure if you like, or if you don't.
See, I would say that like the thing about Chicago is that we go someplace and we expect to make our own fun. We don't necessarily expect the restaurant to deliver the fun to us. So we're very independent. We're very independent when it comes to fun.
Well said. Well said, Adrian Kane.
I like that.
We have sparklers, but we don't have a ton of places where, oh yeah, you can do this and let you shoot a basketball or whatever. I feel like a lot of other cities have that, but we make our own fun.
You make your own fun. And that's true at like in non-restaurant settings as well. Maybe that's bars. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, going along with kind of what Nick was talking about, like stuff on the walls, one of my favorite bars is this place, Best Intentions. So many like Midwestern tchotchke situation going on there. And they have an excellent like $6 burger and also fried shrimp and also matzo ball soup. Like, that's
What?
so fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it called? Best Intentions?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you've been to Best Intentions. Okay, not as many. This guy
Not
over here.
as
What's up?
many.
Can I submit one more to the bar
Yes,
list?
you may.
Thank you. Old Town Ale House, which is in Old Town neighborhood, is another place where it has the same thing of like there's history, there's faces on the walls. It's covered in portraits of like writers, and Roger Ebert actually is there. Michael Shannon's just hanging out in the corner, even though he doesn't drink alcohol anymore. He's having liquid death in the afternoon. There's a jukebox that is cash only. There's maybe one TV, but fun. Like a very fun place there where you create the fun yourself and you want to come and have a conversation and stuff, but also just the atmosphere of it encourages, kind of cutting loose in like a very pure Chicago way. Highly recommend that one.
Okay, I feel
Ale
like I
House.
understand Chicago a little better now. Don't 100% get it.
We're getting there.
We'll show you.
That's
Okay.
just the New York speaking.
Anyway, so you see this guide up behind you on the screen, the most fun dinner spots in Chicago. I believe you've all contributed to this guide. I have a two-part question for all of you. So what is a restaurant that is on the most fun dinner spots in Chicago that you think shouldn't be on there? And then what's a restaurant that's not on the guide that you think personally is fun and should be on this guide? I want you all to fight with each other right now.
Fight.
I'm
Fight.
locked and loaded with an answer.
Okay, John, do you want to go first?
All right. I think, I love Olivita's food. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's my idea of fun. To me, it's like just a nice space with a bunch of plants. Yes, like you got a bunch of people buzzing around, but it's like, it's just a restaurant to me. It doesn't feel like I'm being transported in a fun
I happen to
sort of way.
agree with you. In fact, I'm tempted to remove it right after this podcast.
What is
Where's
this
my
place?
phone?
Olivita.
Tell
It's
me more.
this Italian spot in the West Loop. And like I said, you got a bunch of hanging plants. You got some good pasta. The ricotta dumpling gnocchi situation, awesome. But it's a restaurant. I don't think I'm feeling being transported to like pasta funland, But in terms of what I do think should be on there, I'm a big Le Bouchon supporter.
What is that, Le Bouchon?
Le Bouchon. It is like this French bistro in Bucktown. Super, super tiny. Super, super charming. There's enough French words on the wall to convince you it's a French place. And like we were talking about servers, all of the servers there have been there for so long, some for decades, and they might invite you to their comedy show after. They're like super, super charming and welcoming. And on Mondays, they also have half-off bottles of wine, so it can get really fun there too.
Anyone else want to chime in?
Well, I would probably take Adelina off of there because it's the line. There's like this demarcation where it's very boring early in the day because it's just a lot of like River North Gold Coast business people having business people dinners, and then there's like a fine time where it tips over and it becomes like not fun debauchery. Last time I was there, someone like fell over a velvet chair and it was just sort of a debacle. So I think that's like not as consistent in the fun category.
Did you say not fun debauchery?
Yes.
That sounds like an oxymoron.
I know. I'm full of them. No, right. It's like, it just is, it's like the kind of behavior that you're like a little uncomfortable. You're like, ooh, I hope she has a ride home, kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Nick, can you think of anything?
Yes, real fast. Take it off. Lyra, I've been to Lyra in the West Loop. They twirl napkins and stuff, but when I went there once, it was boring. It was a while ago. It was before my life in the Infatuation, but it was just like a very loud restaurant. And for me, I don't have fun in loud. And Lyra was very loud to me. But put it on the list. Gene and George JD Steakhouse in River North, another classic Chicago restaurant.
No.
Probably, yeah. No?
No.
Okay, it's not going on the list. You heard it here first. I think it's very fun. I love the mix of history, but also it's like a classic restaurant with very consistent food. But just the air itself is great.
All right, next we're going to do a little lightning round.
Ooh.
So we're going to start with, just don't think too hard, just speak from the heart, speak from the stomach, as it were. And first up, we're going to give you a couple Chicago celebrity dining dilemmas. So it's 10 p.m. Harrison Ford has just texted you. He wants to go out. Where are you guys partying? Don't think too hard.
Hop Leaf. I'm
Dancing.
taking Harrison Ford to Hop Leaf in Andersonville.
Dancing.
I was going to say El Che for a little steak.
Okay, those all sound probably like good ansers.
Or
I don't
Maple
really
and
know
Ash.
what
Hop
to
Leaf
talk
is
Yeah.
about.
probably
Fact
not a
check
good
you.
answer, but that's where I want to be with Harrison
Maple
Ford.
and Ash would be pretty awesome for Harrison Ford, actually. He would love that, I think.
Next up, Sven Gulli showed up at your house. He's getting married, and he wants to have a bachelor party, a spooky one, I assume. And then also, just for everybody who might not know who Sven Gulli is, would you mind explaining?
I just explained Svengoolie.
Yes, please.
Chicago icon who would do parodies of horror movies on non-cable TV. You can still watch him on MeTV, I think. He looks great. He's got a lot of makeup on and a hat.
Thank you so much, Nick. Now, where are you partying with Sven Gulli?
Bavettes.
For
Yes.
his bachelor party.
Yes, because it's going to be dark. So you can call it kind of scary, and then you can ask the people there to put some like cobwebs or whatever up there, but it's already got the lighting for scary. And the candlelight, too. That's a great answer, I got to say.
So I think, Sven Gulli, he's a little bit of a quirky character. I think it should be matched with a quirky spot. So I think the Magic Lounge is
There we
kind of
go.
the move. A little dinner and a show, little mystery. I think he'd be into it.
I love the Magic Lounge.
Do we have to eat with them? I would say the Green Mill. Yeah, right? That's a great answer. I know. I saved the best for last. The
What is
Green
that
Mill.
place?
It's a bar, like live music place in Uptown. How long has it been around, John? You know the answer.
Too longer than I've been alive. So long.
Yeah, it's been around for a really long time. Down Prohibition, there are like tunnels underneath it. It's absolutely haunted. So take them to the Green Mill.
Okay, great. I can't wait for Sven Gulli to write in and say, yeah, let's do this.
Svengoolie here right now?
Sven Gulli, are you here? All right, last celebrity dining dilemma. Oprah and Gail are having a slumber party, and they want to order pizza.
Dorothy's. Oh.
Where do they get their pizza from for their slumber party?
So do we think that Oprah and Gail would be into thin crust or deep dish?
Deep.
A deep dish situation. All right, Millie's.
That was going to be my answer.
Yeah.
I think we are all Millie's supporters. Also, Nick had
Yes.
just went to the new Millie's
Millie's.
location. It's an awesome deep dish spot. I will always recommend Oprah to go there.
But you will have to tell Oprah to wake up or schedule an alarm for around like 8 a.m., I think, for when they release their daily pizza quota. Because you can't just walk in there and get a pizza. Even if you're Oprah.
But they have connections. That's why. That's part of the reason
mean,
why
she's
Millie's
Oprah.
is
I
a
was going to
perfect
say, I don't
answer.
think
No, it's
Oprah's
Millie's.
waking up to order this.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
worry,
she's
Nick.
got people.
Millie's.
She'll be okay.
Related question. Can soup be fun? What's the most fun soup?
Oh,
I think borscht.
nice.
So I think
Good answer, John.
I think borscht can be fun, specifically at this restaurant in Avondale, Anelia. There's a lot of, it's kind of Alice in Wonderlandy inside. They have these kind of flower like lights hanging. They have a bunch of knickknacks. There's like a mushroom sculpture with a face. It's a little trippy, but that's the most fun I've had slurping borscht.
see, I think Lao Pei Yu's dumpling soup would be really fun. That's just a fun. That's another fun restaurant, and I think dumplings are fun.
Incredible. Nick, you have an answer for this one?
The pasta fagioli, which is not really a soup, but it's kind of soupy. but I'm going to
It's
call it a soup.
halfway to soup.
Yeah, it's halfway soup, but it's so good, and it's at La Scarola.
Wow, amazing. So the correct answer was actually alphabet soup. The
I was
soup you can spell stuff in, you know? Sorry.
You can spell whatever
Sorry.
you want with it.
All right. Last lightning round question. We're going to play another game called Fun or Faux Pas.
Ooh.
We're going to give you a situation that maybe it's like someone is doing this at a fun restaurant, and you have to tell us if you think it's fun or faux pas. The first one is buying a shot for someone you don't know.
Fun.
Fun.
I would accept.
Great.
Buying what?
A shot.
Oh, yeah, definitely fun.
Okay. All right. Easy.
Welcome.
Check.
Okay, fun or faux pas? Dancing in a restaurant without a dance floor.
Faux pas.
Fun.
Define dancing. Is it a little bit of this
Oh.
in the seat?
No, it's a
Oh
lot
my
of
God,
that.
shoulders.
It's not a
It's
little
lot
bit.
of
Yeah.
Stand up,
You're
hold.
standing up.
It's gonna be a faux pas for me.
Okay, do we get one from Adrian?
I said faux pas.
You said faux pas, and faux.
Fun. If a water carafe gets knocked over, no.
Nice.
But just
Okay.
know your space.
Okay.
Okay. This is similar. Requesting "Let's Get It Started" by the Black Eyed Peas at a clubstaurant with a DJ.
Faux pas.
Faux pas. I respect the DJ. I don't want to put them through that. I'm sorry.
Faux pas, also a joke in Naked Gun, too, actually.
I say fun. Okay, well, amazing.
Well, I think we are just about time, but this was really, really fun. Thank you
you.
so
Great.
much
Had so
to
much
Nick,
fun.
John, and Adrian. Let's give it up for them.
To Hannah and Bryan, our lovely hosts, the stars of
Our most fun hosts.
We love Chicago,
our most fun
for real.
hosts.
Thank you so much, EATSCON Chicago. Yes, this was Restaurant People. If you want to watch or listen to Restaurant People, check us out on YouTube or any podcast platform. Be sure to follow us at Infatuation on Instagram or at Restaurant People on TikTok. Everybody, have a great time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
If you're in New York on October 4th and 5th, no need to feel FOMO about missing out on EATSCON Chicago. You can buy your tickets for EATSCON New York right now and join us at Pier 76 for 2 days of great food, your favorite celebrities, and so much more like me and Hannah.
My favorite celebrities?
All of your favorite celebrities.
Svengoolie?
Bryan, Kim, Hannah, Albertine, Svengoolie, maybe.